All right, we have another breakdown. We have Gordon Ryan, Josh Saunders. This matchup just recently happened, so I'm excited to watch it. So we'll get started. If you haven't yet, click the link in the description where you can get access to all the strength and conditioning programs for the sweet science of fighting underground, and you can also submit your own footage to be broken down. So let's let's get started here. There we go. All right. This is on Hughes number 1. So it looks like Gordon just kind of pulls guard there to go to a single leg, single leg X. He still has this shin on shin guard he's playing here with a strong overhook. You can see Saunders is really keeping his leg tucked away back here. So smart. Got an underhook on the inside position, so that's pretty good for Saunders here. But Gordon's actually going to be trying to pull him and overcommit him over top. So we'll see if he can get underneath the hips. There it is. So as he pushes him to go over top, he starts to create a frame right here to push him even further away to get more of an extension on this Josh's right leg here. And now Gordon's going to place his foot on the hip, and we'll see what he turns this into. Just a basic Ashigurami position. Gordon's controlling the knee line here. Saunders peeling off the top leg. This is a really good position. Now Gordon has you can see he snuck the leg in over here, put the hook on the far hip. This could start to enter into, just in case Saunders starts to come forward, could enter into more of a honey hole position, because now he's put his legs here in a position of reverse X. So if if he's able to spin to his left, or maybe Josh comes forward, then he can actually shoot that his left leg through and actually end up in a honey hole position and a reaping position. But this is a good. I watched Gordon play this game many years ago at AZC and did very well. Just kind of, and he even used it, I believe, in a tournament that this position where he couldn't really do leg locks, and then he would just use it to sweep and get on top. So it's a good position if you can really keep the guy tilted here. So now we're in a tripod position, and this is okay. The legs are still kind of open, so Josh is kind of playing this game here, a bit of a risky game. If Gordon can actually bring his legs over his head, and then obviously he can start to get into a reverse X position, or I'm sorry, a honey hole position from reverse X. So you can see the reverse X is there. Josh is being really calm in this position. He's keeping the legs open. This is very critical. See that? So leg lock defense, just real quick, is actually the formula for defending the legs can be quite simple. There are some variations to leg lock defenses, of course, but for the most part, you're going to see in these style tournaments, you're going to see basic defense, and it's keeping legs open and separated, hiding the heel, and freeing your knee line. So basically what's happening here is you kind of saw Josh here trying to keep the legs separated, but Gordon was able to get to the reaping position, so now his left leg is reaped over. So now what he's trying to do is free his knee line, or to reduce the bite here, which is why he's taking his right arm and framing down on the foot, on Gordon's foot here. So he's going to have to start to rotate here. So we'll see if he rotates. There he is. So he immediately rotates, and that's to free his knee line. And that'll free his knee line. Gordon is actually trying to go back and get his left leg closer to his left knee closer to Saunders' hips. But Josh is doing a good job of just kind of blocking the leg here, not allowing Gordon to get a deeper bite on the leg. So this is interesting. He's trying to create a wedge here with his outside leg, trying to post it on the butt here, trying to get a little bit of space. It's pretty calm because, you can see the knee line perfect. So you can see the knee line right here. His knee's out. Gordon's just kind of hanging onto the position here. He can actually still produce something from this, especially, obviously, he's extremely skilled, so he can still produce something here. But it does have a short heel leg now, we call it a short heel hook position. But, a lot of the knee line is out, so now there we go. So I was going to say he may be looking into going into some sort of inversion to reset. So when you go knees down, he's basically kind of closing off the position here. His right leg, when it goes to the mat here, he's basically cutting off trying to cut off Josh's access to his legs to be able to defend his legs. This also puts his in a belly down position to where now you can use both his arms by posting on his shoulder or on his head to actually start to dig the legs and get a tighter bite on the legs, a configuration. So see, now Josh has to kind of work a little bit. So Gordon goes back into a reap position. So he threw it. Now he's in a full reap, has the knee line. He's got a hold of the left leg here, the outside leg, and then he has a hook here. So it's showing counter tension. So this is a good position for the leg lock. But as you can see, one of the defenses is hiding the heel. So the heel is being hidden here to the rib. So again, he's trying to free the knee line because now, Gordon's trying to switch the leg to the outside. More entering into a sambo knot type of position or Z-lock, whatever people call it these days. But essentially, the leg is being switched to the outside and going into a reaped position. And so now this kid enters into a whole another sequence of leg locks. But the issue is now, instead of hiding the heel, he is now framing out on the knee to free the knee line. So you can see that his defense to hiding the heel, Gordon has switched it to the outside. So now hiding the heel doesn't matter. He countered that type of defense, and now that defense has been countered, just brings the leg to the outside. Now Josh is trying to free the knee line, and he just has enough out to where Gordon can't quite get a bite on the leg there. So now the knee is completely out. I usually say if you can get your knee where it's between the it's questionable. I would never instruct a student to say like, hey, if you got your knee on right at the knees there, right where between the legs, then you should try to pull your leg out. Maybe not, but certainly if the knee is past the knees and more on the hip, you gotta be very careful, obviously. So, but in this particular case, he's completely freed the knee line to the outside, and so he should be fairly safe here. There we go. So now he's separating the legs, kind of opening them up, and then Gordon just comes on top. And that's what I was going to say earlier. Like you can use this position to sweep and get on top as well. Now Gordon's putting that pressure in. It's that lazy, constant, wet blanket kind of pressure. It's great passing. It really makes the person on bottom work. There's a cross face. So he's starting to get upper body connection. He's in a half guard. And now this isn't good. Josh is flat here. He's got a posted hand on the hip. He does have an inside position here, so this is good. Gordon doesn't have an underhook yet on this far arm. So it's not the end of the world, obviously. Josh is going to be able to do some stuff here. But just a case in point here, half guard, excuse me, half guard can be utilized quite a bit with guys that are really good at passing. A lot of times when I pass, I'm trying to get into half guard to start to begin to pass. It's one method of passing. So just, Gordon, I've seen him do this time and time again. He really keeps that pressure on that top leg. Just constant pressure, never lets up on it. So you're having to carry him. This is very critical, especially at this level. A lot of times whoever's having to work more is obviously you don't want to be the person that's having to work more because you get tired faster. And then as you get tired and your technique starts to go downhill a little bit. So yeah, I would say not a bad position, but you can see Gordon here really putting pressure on that top leg. Always remember the top leg and the top arm are the what you're going to use to be framing with and to reset positions, your guard. Josh is a big guy too, so he can, he's bigger than Gordon apparently, so that's why these guys are moving pretty slow, pretty methodical. Good frame with the right arm there, but I like the left arm there as a better frame. It has it on the wrist. We generally put it here in between the elbow, but this is good. If he has it on the wrist, it still works somewhat the same. So I was going to say, Gordon can just pull it straight back, and then he loses the grip, and now Josh is going to have to really target that hand and make sure, or that arm. That's why I typically like to put the left arm here framing in the crook of the elbow here instead of the bottom arm, because the bottom arm can only go, if Gordon were to for some reason throw this left arm around the neck here and go over the head. The bottom arm wouldn't be able to follow that top Gordon's left arm here. It'd only be Josh would only be able to get his right arm here about to the top of his head, and then he would lose connection with Gordon's arm. It's always the top arm here that typically has better, well, it does have better connection as far as the framing is concerned. So that way, if Gordon were to actually throw this arm over, he can actually follow it with the top arm and then switch it to this arm on the bottom. So as a handoff type of thing, but just, it's something to think about. And the wrist grip is actually good. There's a lot of techniques you can use from grabbing the wrist as well. Gordon really can't, if he just really puts 2-on-1 on that wrist, Gordon really can't completely pass. If he does, he's kind of compromising himself because he's kind of leaving his arm behind, and then, Josh could easily start to wrestle up or produce a sweep. You see this in the gi a lot. You see this in the gi a lot a long time ago. So Gordon goes for the crossface again. And a little bit of grabbing the gi, no-gi there, or the rash guard. That's okay. He's basically just kind of trying to pop out to the side there. But Gordon, maybe try to get back to the half guard because Gordon was pushing that knee through. And now that he was fighting the knees, the battle at the legs, so Josh was really trying to fight the Gordon's right knee here from sliding through. And so what he had to do is contract and try to push Gordon's knee back between his legs. But in doing so, he compromised the upper body. And now you can see that Gordon got what he wanted, which was his right arm has an underhook on Josh's outside arm, his left arm. And so now he has an inside position, and then now he can actually quite easily pass the legs over to like a bit of a knee ride pass and start to get Josh flat. So now that's a complete pass. And, Josh looks fairly calm here. So he is. So you can see here the inside position has been lost. This is not good. So he's keeping a frame on the hip. So he's scooping to go underneath. So he's going to double unders here. So this is a good strategy when we have an underhook. You've lost the outside here with somebody having an underhook. You can put the arm over here, the right arm, Josh's right arm can start to scoop under the hip, and he can possibly start to slide out to the right and bridge and go to the outside. We just call it the wheelbarrow, or also you can produce a ghost escape here. His left arm isn't quite in the right position, but you could actually produce something like that. But it will produce some sort of a scramble and escape. The problem now is that Gordon is now taking his left arm and putting it to the inside. So now you can see his left arm now is establishing that underhook. So now that Josh can't go that direction. So him putting his arm there, he would need to bring his right arm back out and pummel it back to the inside position here so that Gordon doesn't have the inside position. Everything is about inside position. Almost everything. So now we have chest to chest, double inside position, and Gordon's just pinning him down to the ground here. Now there's a knee. Gordon pops the knee up, goes to the bit of a knee ride, or a knee on belly. And I went to the knee on belly, and as Josh reacted to that, he put his slid his left foot over, and now he's going into a pinning position on Josh's right arm. And now he's getting more of like this crucifix type of position from top, and now this is not good because it starts to isolate Josh's arms. Josh did a good job bridging. Had to use a little bit of strength there to get back under. But now you can see Josh is on a side now, and this is because Gordon's kind of pulling him up here. In this space right here, you got to watch and see. Let's see what Gordon does with the space, or if Josh decides to go flat here, because Gordon could just spin around here and go for an armbar type position. See what he decides to do with it. So Gordon still has the pin on the arm there, so that's interesting. Okay, so a little bit of bridge and moving around, and then Gordon lost the arm there. Now he's blocking the hip, crosses over. He's looking to possibly go to a bit of a mounting position. Got a reverse quesa. That's going to a cradling, kind of cradling the leg there. Let's see if he goes to cradle position, which he's not. He's just walking back to reverse quesa position, trying to walk his butt closer to the face. Driving his arm through. Now we have a cross. So this is a precarious position because now Gordon has his arm, his right arm going for a cross face. But now the difference is that Josh's arm, his right arm is thread through. So if Gordon's able to get Josh flat here, it can produce a lot of pressure on the chest, on the pec muscle, and on the shoulder, and it can also be a bit of a strangulation. So we'll see what happens there. But again, Josh is just a pretty big guy, so. And with a lot of skill, obviously, or he wouldn't be here. All right, so there we go. So now this is good. So now, Josh has an inside position now. He's got an arm on the inside. He's got this arm on the inside. Gordon is no longer on the inside position in his armpits. So now he can start to produce something. Possible half guard. Gordon probably won't allow that. He's probably going to pop out unless he wants to go to half. Let's see. Gordon's looking more of a riding position right now with his legs. There we go. So now, Josh got to half guard. He's trying to press on the hip, try to scoot out to his side. On the hips, trying to get to some sort of maybe possible full guard or a sweep or a butterfly. There you go. So now he's back to his guard. So here's a butterfly guard. There's that constant pressure, that wet blanket pressure really driving into this top leg. I always tell guys when you roll with higher level guys like this, the passing is really different. You can't really see maybe here, but when you do roll with these guys like this, you'll start to notice that their hips are really loose, right? Their pressures, they're very heavy pressure, but their body's not really not stiff. So it's kind of loose. And what that does is, one, it makes you a little bit heavier, especially when you're starting to pinpoint the pressure where you want to put it. But it's essentially, it makes it very difficult for the person to move you around, which is what they want to do with their guard, right? They need to get you to be reacting to their guard. And it's again, I always kind of refer to it as kind of like trying to move a memory foam mattress around versus trying to remove a box spring mattress. It's like, box spring's pretty easy, you just toss it, but a memory foam mattress, it's hard to get a hold of. It's heavy in all directions. So that's kind of what's going on with the hips here. So when I teach stuff like this about this guard passing, I always try to encourage people to do like loose hips and just heavy dead weight. And then there's a skill involved with this, obviously. And you're not just flopping everywhere. There are some times you add pressure with strength and you push the leg down and you fight the feet and all these things and drive your knee through and all this stuff. But it's just a constant pressure to that top leg. All right, so Gordon, again, you can see his position here. He's up on his toes. He's driving down. His weight is on that top leg. He's just driving down into this guard. Going over top. So half guard again from Josh. Judges favor red. It's not surprising there. Makes sense. There's an underhook, so this is good. Saunders has an underhook. You can start to build up possibly. I mean, Josh is really having to work harder. Gordon's working hard as well, but not as hard as I would say Josh is, having to bear the weight and, somewhat limited breathing by the pressure and all this. So there we go. On hips, push them up, get back to your knee between the two of you. But Gordon, again, drops the heavy hips in, shoots his hips into the person, pressing down on the knee right here, driving his hips down, and then keeping that chest pressure, constant chest pressure. There we go. And this really just wears somebody down. I mean, I've had this done to me. It wears somebody down. I do this to people as well. Obviously not as good as Gordon, but it is a technique. that you should learn as you get more advanced. You know, and credit to Josh is staying very calm here. He's trying to fight, you know, the little battles inside position, trying to keep get his legs back in, and you know, and Gordon's fighting the little battles, trying to keep that pressure going forward. We haven't seen much of any of the positional changes here. You know, we had the beginning where there was some leg entanglement a little bit, and once Gordon got on top, it was just, you know, we're stuck in this half kind of guard position, this half guard battle. Now, as Gordon's trying to do some hip switches there to pop over the leg. Goes right, goes left, flops over to pass. That was actually really nice. So one thing to consider real quick, just want to point that out, is that when you are passing, you have to consider going right and left. Especially, this is quite obvious when you start to see when you start to start passing guard with people, like when you're in headquarters. You know, it's very important for you to understand how to pass to your right and pass to your left, or at least shift from left to right, because this gets different reactions. And when you shift to the right and shift to the left, you may be gaining space. So you may be gaining you know, knee line for a knee ride pass. So you may, as you shift to the right, the person adjusts, and then when you shift back to the left, you may actually end up with a nice knee ride pass or a step over or something. So this, it's just that the cross concept is what we refer to is, like, you know, just always consider in these, and especially in guard passing positions, left, right, back, forward, this dynamic movement. And it's not like you're using a ton of energy. You're just making movements left, right, back, forward. Not using, you know, again, not spending too much energy, but it gets reactions. And when you start to get reactions from the person on bottom, then you can start to produce what we just saw. Now the battle here is to try to keep Josh flat here. We're watching this leg right here to see what happens. Gordon's going to try to block the leg there. There's this 2-on-1 again. Okay, so you let go of the 2-on-1. There we go. Gordon stepping over for the leg. So he went from attacking the top, now stepping over to go to the leg, which makes sense. Now he's got a reap, so his right foot just right there, his right foot went through. Now he has a reap position, so we may see a leg attack here. Maybe a belly down, or he'll either go belly down or he'll pull or fall backwards. Or he may go back to a pass. Try to attack the back. I mean, the reality is that it's obvious right here that there's a leg entanglement. They both know there's a leg entanglement, obviously. And so there's other opportunities here. You know, Gordon could actually just start to go into a complete pass here, or maybe start to attack the back. So it looks like he's taking the leg because he's scooping the second leg there. He's going to bring it in. He was trying to bring him back with the second leg. Now he's going to go to belly down. There we go. Now he's back. And I mean, I just got to say, you know, this guy looks incredibly strong. Just looking at him. So, I mean, I'm sure this isn't an easy task here to get his legs back the other direction. But now we can kind of see there's a leg lace here, right? We have some double trouble leg lace, referred to many different things. But now that we have the second leg, now we can start to actually work some leg lock positions, or some leg lock submissions, sorry. Josh still looks calm here, but he is stuck, and so he needs to figure out, he needs to fight the hands at this point, because now he's wrapped up, and there we go. So now he broke his second leg free, which is actually a very good thing. And then now that he broke the leg free, now Gordon's going to switch it to the other side. And now that he switches to the other side, now he's in more of a outside reap position, so that his leg's on the outside, and he's still reaping the leg. So now he needs to be careful, because, you know, Josh was trying to hide his heel on this side, and now Gordon switches to that side. And so now we'll see if a heel hook can be finished. And he is under the heel, so all right. So we're going to see what happens if he can get that. Once he's under the heel, it should be, there it is. So now he has a hold of the heel. We can look at the position. He's got a good knee line. He's got his legs figured forward and tight. There's no necessarily counterattacks that can be produced, especially with the timing that he has with the ankle here. and the leg will explode. There it is. So there it is. So we got him with the leg lock. So an outside heel hook. He was tired. So yeah, these guys, it's tough. So good match. You know, there wasn't, Josh wasn't able to pull off much there. He's kind of stuck on bottom for quite a bit. Had a bit of top game, but then, you know, Gordon quickly entangled his legs, got him off balance, got on top, and there it is. So, overall, good performance. Both these guys, that was a lot of stuff to learn from that. And, yeah, what else can you say? There it is. All right. That's it. Thanks.